know there's been a lot of tires lately on this channel, so it's kind of ironic because I think in the last one I said I don't really feel that much difference between tires anyway, but I still find it quite exciting to mess around with new tires. I don't know why. And what we have here is the Vittoria Crosa Control 700/42, and the reason for that is of course the new gravel wheels I got with the 32 internals. I could not help myself. Wouldn't it be quite fun to try something really wide, slick, and just hammer roads for days like I always do? But yeah, by the way, as you can see here, compatible with 17 to 27 millimeter internal rims, which is, yeah, I'm going way out of spec here, so anything that happens, you can't really blame the tires there. Another thing to mention, I actually ordered these almost 3 weeks ago now, but they sent me the wrong size first, so I received the 38s first. So I can actually give you the weights of the 38s as well, which I will include as we get these on the scales, which will, yeah, why not just get that over with? Annoying to keep y'all waiting. We don't need that stuff. There we go. And just to be super clear, how much do this weigh? 0.2 grams. So let's reset that. Let's put it on again. 453.0 and 455.0. Now, if I remember this correctly, the 38 version, I will insert that here, of course, was 420 grams. So we are talking about, yeah, 35 grams extra for the 42. Just in terms of weight, to have some kind of reference, I do have something in the similar weight. This is the standard Panarizer Gravel King Slick in 45, so it's a bit bigger, of course, but it's the closest I have. So we have some kind of comparison in terms of weight. 460, so yeah, it's almost the same weight as these, and like I said, this is the standard one. They have the Gravel King R as well, which is quite a bit lighter than this, so that might be even lighter than this in a bigger size. And to be fair, here in Japan, that would be the obvious choice, I think, in terms of money, because I could probably buy at least 2 of those for one of these tires. So economically, yeah, that is definitely the wise option in my case. But of course, it's a slightly blingier tire, I would say. Well, before we mount this on the wheel, let's just check the Bead-to-Bead size for funsies. They do have a little bit of shape to them, not totally flat, which might help with the mounting. But yeah, did I get this right? One more time, measure twice. Yeah, basically 10.5 or 10.4 Bead-to-Bead. Since we have this out already, might put this as a reference. Like I said, these are the 45. Should be, yeah, definitely wider Bead-to-Bead. We almost have to 12.1 at least, to 12.2 maybe. Now, for those wondering, the cotton casing here is 320 TPI. Is there any other interesting info here? We have the max tire pressures, depending on if you're running a tube. TLR hookless even, so I guess they're hookless compatible. I will be running these with inner tubes to begin with at least, and yeah, let's not drag this out. I'm quite curious to see, first and foremost, if they mount okay on those 32 internals and what the actual width will be, because when you look here on a 25mm internal rim, it's supposed to measure 42. So yeah, let's see how that goes. can see, that was pretty painless installation, no issues at all, and that was probably about 2 weeks ago now. And yeah, this is how they look. Not bad, not bad. Although I think it's probably not the best match for this particular frame color. The shades kind of clashing a bit, so I would prefer a totally black tire on this particular frame. But yeah, now anyway, since I have had this mounted now for about 2 weeks, I thought it would be a much better representation of the actual width as measured, because now they have probably stretched the amount they should. I'm running about 35 to 39 psi in my tires, using the wool tooth tire pressure calculator for those wondering. And what this measures on these 32 internal rims is about 43.3 around there. So a little bit wider than advertised, but of course that was for a 25 mil internal rim. Like I said, this is 32, so I actually thought they would go even wider, but yeah, not too crazy. Around, yeah, 43.3 is what I said, right? So like I said, a few weeks on, a couple of rides. I had a big, like 200k ride on them, and the first impressions are pretty positive, I say. They feel extremely rapid. They feel, yeah, just fast in general and very comfortable to ride. I would like to say that this would be my road setup going forward, but I know I can't help myself. I do know I will eventually go back to the small 30 mil tires on the proper road bike eventually. But for these like all day rides, like the long distance ride, like 200k plus, man, this is such a perfect setup for me personally. Now, if I ignore the price, this will probably be my pick for this tire size on road for the foreseeable future. I can't really do that though. I still think the Gravel King R, it's much more sane decision. These are definitely more quieter. They run more quieter and they run nicer. I do feel that, but is it worth more than double the price here in Japan? I wouldn't say so. So if I for some reason get like a catastrophic puncture that I actually need to bin this tire, I probably wouldn't buy another one just for the price. Like, since I'm not in the competing mode, I'm probably fine with a Gravel King R in the same size as well. I would lose a lot of weight from the tires as well. And that's basically the only negative about these tires, is that they're not a weight-winning tire for sure. But at the same time, the only time I feel like these kind of heavier tires really makes a difference is when you go above, say, like 14-15% climbs, that at least I basically need to really crunch the gears, and like every single pedal stroke is a proper acceleration. That's where I feel they're maybe not as snappy as those lighter like 30 mil road tires, but I do think the comfort on rough roads and stuff like that, I'm sold on this. I hope they last long. It remains to be seen though, because I don't want to buy another pair of these for that kind of money. I'm sure there will be other tires to try out next time. Anyway, that's it for now. Catch you in the next one. Peace!